right. Good evening, everybody. Let's do a brief audio and sound check. How's everybody doing tonight? Start of the... it's not the new year yet, but kind of over the holidays. We still have a little bit of ways to go until the start of the new year. Good evening, Mike. Is audio, video good? We should be good. Give me a few moments while I wait for that and I get a few things set up on my end. Let's see. Good. Looks good. Sounds good. Oh, back into it. Back into the the grind, the hustle that we call trading. Anybody place any trades tonight? How's everybody? 8 Mile style, fresh with the fresh fade. I'm still trying to find a good barber, if you believe that or not. You can see it, they kind of butchered it a little bit. I don't know how favorable I am for this one. Still trying, trial and error with finding a barber. So you guys be the judge. One of these days I'll be happy with the barber, and we shall see. We shall see. All my money is going towards freaking haircuts. Caught a nice piece of the Nikkei. Yeah, I'll definitely be talking about the Nikkei tonight. The Nikkei has been absolutely amazing. You guys remember I talked about it last week. I posted on Twitter and on X, on Twix, talking about how great of a setup the Nikkei can be. Someone says short the Nasdaq. Looks good. She was... Anyway... Let's get to it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. As always, is our Top Step risk disclosure in the YouTube chat. Everything I go over tonight and each and every other night is for educational purposes only. It is not a signal. We all know that. Everyone who has been here knows and understands that all the time. So you can see this is the daily chart on the Nasdaq, and yeah, same story as always. I mean, this every single time this year, right, is, I mean, every single time we have a sell-off, the very next week, we've been right back up to it, right? We every single sell-off has been buying the dip opportunities. Obviously, this August, the end of July, mid-July to August was a little bit different because we had a much deeper sell-off. However, the very next week, sure enough, buy the dip. Every sell-off has been buy the dip. It's always going to be buy the dip until it's not. I think this week is very similar. I talked about it, and sure enough, it is. That's what we're seeing right now. The last 3 days have been very, very buy the dip bullish, up over 1,000 points since that low of 21,000 even. And, the last 3 days have been bullish. Is this the Santa rally? I know Jerome Powell caught a lot of crap for this dramatic sell-off, but, I mean, was this a Christmas gift? I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I mean, some people were saying how bad that was, and Jerome Powell crashing the markets, and Christmas was canceled, and it was pretty dramatic there for a moment. It really was. You could see that was pretty dramatic. But now with the power of hindsight, was this just a gift? That could have easily been looked at as, wow, Jerome Powell gave us a gift of buying the dip. And, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this, quotes, Santa rally ends for going into the end of the year. What is today? Today's the 26th, so we just have a few more trading days until it's 2025. And, today was kind of consolidation, right? We had that big rally. We got up to 22,100, and we ended near the low end, and maybe we see some consolidation. Maybe we do see some consolidation into the end of the year. There's not much to see. There's not much to tell on the daily chart. You can see there's a little bit of resistance there, some consolidation on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. So maybe we see consolidation. Do we see a resistance? Can we see a sell-off back down to 21,700s? Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't be too crazy, right? If we see a sell-off back down to test this level, right? This was support. Support became resistance. Will this resistance, become support again? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. This is something I'm going to watch. Can we get there tomorrow? You never know. You see the markets could move really quick at any time at a moment's notice. As we start to zoom in, this is an hourly chart now. We can kind of see kind of zoomed in, right? We could see the support and resistance a lot better if we could highlight it a little bit better. I mean, it's zones, right? Support, support, resistance, resistance. We broke through and we didn't get all the way back down here. It looks like we did get back down to this 21,900s. And if we highlight that, this became a major support. And funny enough, you can see it was support and resistance a few times throughout this month. And so the question is, do we come back down, test it, and find support again? Or are we going to form some type of a bullish flag pattern? And I don't know if it's going to look something like this. Maybe it's going to look something like this. Before my charts get out of hand, I mean, very realistic buy tonight, actually, to be honest. Let me just take a look at the 5-minute chart and see. Maybe... Man, that was quite the sell-off at the end of the day, right? I'm just going through. A lot of this is going to be... stream is laggy, buffering. Let me know in the chat. I want to make sure. I'm going to hold off for just a second. Your purple box was a zone I had, but I didn't trade it this morning. Ugh. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard. It's good. It's cutting in and out. I'm good. Maybe hit refresh. It should be good to go now. Should be good to go. It's okay. Good. All right. Well, let's get back to what I was saying. So, yeah, I'm looking at this as a buying opportunity right now. I'm possibly buy the dip. It was kind of interesting to see quite the sell-off. I mean, this was the last 15 minutes of the day. We did get all the way back up to 22,070s, and then we sold back down to these 960s. I'm not 100% sure of... Let's see. Let's take a look at news. Let me take a look at news. That could change some things. Tomorrow's Friday. And this is Friday's trading day. I will be on Fast Markets tomorrow morning for TopstepTV. Nothing really crazy for tomorrow's news. Nothing's crazy for tomorrow's news. Maybe looking for areas to buy. That's what I'm looking at tonight. Some might look for an area to sell. I'm bullish. I mean, it's hard not to be bullish. Kind of in the middle of the zone, huh? It's the last Friday of the month, last Friday of the year, right? It's the last Friday of the year. Kind of in the middle. So maybe look for some crazy trading. I don't know. Love to see volatility. Anyway, let's move on. Keep an eye out on the Nasdaq. We'll move back. Let's take a look at crude oil for a moment, see if crude's done anything, if we've seen any movement from crude. Sure enough, no, it's the same thing. Buy low, sell high. We've had an opportunity to sell while it was high up towards 70.50. And yeah, not much really going on with crude oil. Let's take a look at the Nikkei. Now, this is the market. Straight up. I missed a big opportunity, everybody. I really bit. Dang, I missed that opportunity. You guys, everyone who follows me on the Twitterverse knows exactly what I'm talking about. Let me pull it up. Let me see if I could pull it up. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. If you guys remember this. I should have held this one. This was bad. This is my bad. I mean, it's holiday trading, so yeah. Who remembers this one? This is the Nikkei NKD. I was long from 39.015 My target was 165. Man. And sure enough, I was thinking the same thing. This one might turn into a swing trade, and oh, what a setup! Like, what a setup! But I did some more analysis earlier, right? So I showed traders what I was looking at. We were making these lower highs. We were testing this for a breakout. Breakouts don't happen really fast, right? We'd love to see if something does break out and it goes straight to our target, but yeah, this was one. Oh, look at this. And it's almost to that target of 165, isn't it? 160s. Yeah, it's up there. I mean, that was it. That was the trade of the week. Man, what a trade. Well, sometimes you don't get them all, right? Well, this is what I was looking at in case anybody missed. I was looking at these. I don't know, however you want to draw this out. Looking for a breakout. Got some chopped up. Going into the holiday, I decided not to hold that trade into the holiday. But yeah, with the power of hindsight, I mean, a trade's a trade. Technical analysis is technical analysis. And sure enough, that is what it was. That is what it was. Not really much to see here, right? I mean, if we missed it, that's spilt milk. Spilt milk. Now, maybe, I don't want to talk about shorts, but we are getting up into this zone. Over the past few months, this has been an interesting zone for the Nikkei. So maybe there's going to be a type of pullback. I am looking for an opportunity to buy this. I'm looking to get long in the Nikkei still. Obviously, that was an opportunity to get long on this beautiful breakout trade. And yeah, this honestly was a decent trade that since I have a live account, I have that flexibility to work with the risk management team and hold a trade over for a longer period of time. And this definitely is one. I'm looking for the Nikkei to break out. I'm looking for the Nikkei to break through these highs and, maybe make a run at 41,000, maybe even higher. We'll see. I want to see a pullback. I want to find opportunities to buy this market. But right now it's been a little too late. It's been a little bit too late. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq real quick. Nasdaq, someone's saying a pop on the Nasdaq. It's a little bit so far, a little bit of a bounce. A little bit of a bounce on the Nasdaq. Let's take a look at gold. Let's take a look at gold. How's gold doing? Gold got a nice. Gold was rallying today, huh? Okay. Yeah, I mean, gold was a good buy, right? Gold was a good buy the dip. Consolidation, looking for a rotation higher. Let's look at that. Let's look at the daily still. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, right back into that same range, huh? Right back into that same range. This has been an interesting spot for gold. This 2660s. 2660s have been a really, really interesting spot for gold. And we're right back into it. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back up and test these 2670s, these upper 2670s, right? This range, this consolidation that we've seen for quite a period of time. I wouldn't be surprised if we go back and hit it. I think I might have just got triggered into a Nasdaq long, actually. Did I just get triggered into a Nasdaq long? I might have. I had an order on the Nasdaq, and I think I just got triggered into it. I think I did. Oh, let's see. I think so. I think I did. Did it really just trigger me in? Let's see. This is my live account. I think I had it on my live account. Oh, and I did. I did just get triggered into the Nikkei. Or not the Nikkei, the Nasdaq. 974. Well, I got triggered in on the Nasdaq. 974, 5 contracts. Well, let's see how this one goes. Let me see. Where is my stop? Do I want my stop up here? This is the first place I'm wanting my stop below. Let's see. I have a default at about 5,200, but I'm not sure if I'm actually liking this trade as much. Thinking about tightening it up. So we do have a lot of consolidation here. And there's a lot of consolidation here. We did have this pivot during the New York session. So that is a possibility. This is definitely a possibility. I'm debating on this. This is an interesting one. I might decide to just have a tighter stop than normal. It just triggered me and I got ticked in. Did it really just tick me in? I was the top. I got ticked in. Wow. Okay. Right at 974. 974 to the tick. It got me in. Well, that was. We'll see. Let's watch this. I'm gonna take a look at the higher. Let's see if this is actually a position I'm gonna want to hold overnight. While we do that, let's get to some questions. I'm going to watch how this plays out to see if I'm going to have my stop loss. Maybe I'm going to have my stop loss at 947. Really, what I'm actually looking for is a rotation and a return back up here to these, 22,047s, kind of yesterday's high. That's where I want to see this market return. Not looking for this big of a risk reward. I was actually okay with kind of just over a 1.5, maybe a 1-to-1 risk reward. I don't like this as a stop loss though. I don't like this as a stop loss. I do see this consolidation here. And so sure, this stop loss might make sense, but a more realistic stop loss for me is probably going to be closer to 47, this pivot. But I'm going to wait for a moment. I'll make a decision probably before the end of class. Let's see. We'll see where it goes. I'm just used to it. I'm just used to it. Do you ever trade the Dow or the Russell? No, I do not. It's been a while since I've traded the Dow or the Russell. Let me get to some of the questions that have been up. Let's see. How do you deal with the loneliness of trading before you hit Topstep? Did you ever deal with that? That's a good one. That really is. That is. I'll have to think about that one. The loneliness of trading before you hit Topstep. Did you ever deal with that? I think we've all dealt with that, right? Let me know in the chat. Have you ever felt or had to deal with the loneliness of trading? I'll wait for your guys' reply. Wait for the reply. We have... It's not too many people tonight. It's kind of a light class. 751. You trade with your brother? Coffee buff? No. How was the trade on the 24th with the Nikkei? It was beautiful. The 24th worked out really well. It was the day before Christmas. Wish I would have held it throughout Christmas. I'm at work or listening to you. Yes, of course. I got a question. Got Topstep in the background. Yeah, it's actually surprising how well the community is and how well the community has been when it comes to finding tradies. That's been the benefit of the Discord, Topstep's Discord, right? Because everyone who does trade, it's kind of just you, yourself, and I. Do I usually use five lots? Yeah, 5 contracts is typically the minimum I use for the Nasdaq. Willie C, he's a maniac though, should not be trading. Who? Yourself? Dakota, I asked Nick this the other night. I want your opinion. When is the right time to quit your job and trade full time? Ooh, this is the question. This is the question I get quite often, actually. And it depends. just like any other answer that I give, is it really depends on your own particular situation. I honestly, if you're going to become a full-time trader, or if you're going to do this as a job, you really want to have that financial stability. So that way, I don't think there's a right answer. I really don't. Everybody is so uniquely different on where they are at financially. It depends, and it varies so much. I can't give you a solid answer. JT, I mean, I'm not sure who you're referring to, JT. I don't talk crap. Do I talk crap, everybody? I've talked crap before. I enjoy talking crap sometimes. I usually do it by just doing it, showing it. I promised my wife I'd quit my day job when we have tripled my 9 to 5 income with trading. We're both learning now. Rodney, so I think this is probably my best advice when it comes to quitting a job to something like this, is you need to do it for a longer period of time. I would say when you can consistently pull money out of the markets for over 2 years, then, and I think only then, would be a decent consideration of quitting your job. And I'm not talking about just breaking even or getting by or any of that. And I'm only talking about this because it's a light night tonight. We only have 800 people. It's the holiday week, and so we have just a fraction of the amount of people who are here tonight. And so I don't mind going over this, kind of giving you guys a holiday treat, talking more in depth about this, since it's, I mean, you guys are the ones that are a little more dedicated. Tomorrow, I think we'll have like the typical 5,000 or 6,000 people, but I will never really have that time to talk in depth about this than I do here in slow markets. So let's spend some time on it. I talked about it before. I've even made a few documents regarding this. I don't think I'll ever write a book, but maybe I could write maybe a shorter, I don't know if I want to say an essay or a story regarding this, because it's very important. We have thousands of traders here at Topstep, tens of thousands of traders here at Topstep, and a lot of traders' goal is to eventually show up and become a full-time trader. Is that right? Let me know. We could probably run a poll. Let me do that. I'm curious. Whose goal is it to become a full-time trader versus a part-time trader? Let me go through and I could run a poll. Oh. Give me a second. Man, I'm coming off a holiday, okay? So I'm a little bit slow. I ran the whole stream that one Friday, and this time it's a little bit on the slower side. Nine to 5 blows. Well, it depends. If you do what you love for a living, then it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Let me do a poll. Everyone wants to be full-time, making thousands of dollars, right? So I'm going to do 4 options here. And everyone's going to be different. I think, man, because everyone wants to be a full-time. I think, that's my understanding. No one wants to work a 9 to 5 job, right? Let's go. I'm typing up this question. There's going to be... Forgive my spelling. Spelling's not my strong suit. It's math is my strong suit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, so I want everybody to understand these answers that I'm putting here on the poll, is All these hoops I have to jump through on YouTube. Part-time, then full-time. So I'm going to have 4 of them, okay? And the first one's going to be you want to be trading as part-time and then eventually transition to full-time. The other one is you want to just go straight to full-time. The other one will be part-time only. And the last one is just, I don't know, a side hustle. Side hustle, hobby. What's a good one? A hobby, is a hobby the right word for it? Side hustle, straight to full time. Let's go. Okay, there we go. Part time, then full time. Side hustle. Okay, I'll do additional income. I mean, additional income could be technically part time, right? Second income stream, hobby. Hobby doesn't sound very serious, right? I'll just say currently full time. I'll do side hustle. Side hustle sounds about right. Okay, let's do that poll. Do it in the chat. Let's see. There's only what I see, 800 of us here. There's about 900. Hobbies cost money. Hobby for most. Hobby. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I'm looking to start my own LLC for trading. Okay. Taking it serious, right? That's kind of what I was thinking. So far, I mean, we only have 175 votes. There's about 900 watching. Vote, so I could get a good idea to lead the rest of this conversation tonight. It's a little bit of a slow market. You can see I'm in a trade, in a position, and not much is really going on these. I mean, taking out the Japanese market, it's going straight up. We actually hit that 165 target. I mean, that was quite the move here in the Nikkei. But we'll stick with the Nasdaq since I am in this trade, and you guys could enjoy watching me win or lose money on this one. Let's go through what causes the bid and ask to move up and down on the Nikkei without filling orders that are on the DOM. Cody, liquidity, right? Liquidity, volume, people wanting to buy and sell. So the bid and ask can go up and down without orders being filled. Scratch your gambling itch. Carlos, Dakota, do you get your payouts through an LLC? It depends on what you're referring to, Carlos. I do have an LLC, and we have traders from around the world, so any tax advice would be not correct from my end. There's no choice for a full-time and full-time trader. Well, that's what full-time only is, right? The algos move. I mean, it's the bid and ask. Who wants to buy? Who wants to sell? Algorithms. I wasn't on when you took this trade. What was your thought process on it? Yeah, I'll go through this trade in a moment. I want to make sure I get this poll correct. I think that's as accurate as it's going to get for tonight. So full-time only is going to be so this is, I don't want to piss people off, but I think jumping straight to full-time is very, very difficult. And I think this poll is a good example of why so many people fail for this. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but here's the thing: is it's very hard to just jump straight to full-time, because the majority of trading is emotions, right? And you can imagine how emotional trading is. Everybody here in the chat probably knows how emotional trading is. They've traded before. They've traded whether they're with real money, whether they're with a prop firm. It's very, very emotional, correct? And when you start to trade for full time, it becomes, a multiple, or it comes like 4 or 5 or some type of multiple of how much stress and how much emotional trading can become, correct? Because you not only have P&L, right? Like, plus minus $1,500 in 15 minutes or whenever this trade got triggered in. And now understanding, not only does this affect your trade, this affects, your bills, right? We already have enough emotional trying to deal with a losing trade. Then knowing that you have rent, knowing that you have a phone bill, knowing that you have all these bills that come at the end of the month, no matter what, adds to that emotion. So it's almost a completely new, I don't want to say game, but a completely new environment that you put yourself in as a human and as a trader when you're comparing just trading while you have a job that pays the bills versus trading to pay the bills, right? So instead of the mindset of I'm going to trade and whether I make money or lose money, I have my personal job that I do outside of trading to pay for my bills, to know that I have food, to know that I have a house and a car and things are paid. And then to go to like, okay, I have to make money trading in order to eat. And so that's why I'm saying it's so much harder. And to see that 50% of traders, I'm going to end the poll, 50% of the traders here, that's a good mindset to like maybe an overall goal that you eventually want to get to is to be full-time, and everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to be unique because everyone has their own different situations, right? Where someone might be in high school or college and they're okay. Someone might have already put a lot of people, money in the savings. So, some traders here might be retired and they don't have to have a job. And so it really, really depends, and it's very hard to give a solid answer, but I will say trading full-time is dramatically more emotional for an individual. So I would 100% suggest maybe starting it out as a side hustle, starting it out as part-time with the longer-term goal, eventually getting it to full-time. You need to understand, eventually, maybe you want to become a full-time trader, maybe you want to, do that and eventually quit your job, but it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot longer than probably you expect. Now, I don't know what your guys' expectations are. Everyone's expectations are probably different, but whatever they are, extend them out. Guarantee it. I almost guarantee it. Now, that's not what you guys want to hear. That's not what everybody wants to hear, is that it's probably going to take longer than what they expect, but yeah, you need to extend your expectations. You have to come down to reality sometimes from what you see on the internet. You expect the market to go where you say? Oh yeah, I try it all the time. I want this market to go in the direction of my trades. Every single trade I place, it doesn't always go. Actually, more often than not, it doesn't. You guys see it. Yeah, KS kids. I wish I had a better answer. I wish there was a more of a direct answer. It's just there's not. It's so discretionary based off the individual. And I think what we all have in common would be, and what everybody here would have in common, is the amount of stress it will add to you. Now, of course, if you're single and you're young and you don't have a lot of responsibilities, it's going to be a lot less stressful compared to somebody who is older and maybe they have a family and kids and they have a lot of responsibilities and people depending on them. Whew, that'd be a lot of pressure, right? And so those are also two different levels of pressure and stress that you'd go through. And it's so unique based on yourself. That's why I will really only recommend trading it as a part-time or a side hustle until you could prove to yourself. Gain your confidence, prove to yourself that you can trade consistently and you could trade profitably over a period of not months, not weeks, not months, years. I will be honest and I will say years. There's some rare exceptions where I've seen traders start trading and they start to become consistent and they jump into being a full-time trader in a year, and that could be a rare expectation, but a rare exception. I wouldn't put that as the normal. I think it would need to be a few years of consistent to where you can prove to yourself that you could handle that stress, and then transition. Don't do it all at once. Transition. If you could find a job where you could work part-time and still trade, that's the idea. That's the idea. Ideal world. Because trading, you're not trading full time. And I want to make sure that's clear. You're probably only trading for a few hours a day, maybe 4 hours a day. You shouldn't be trading for more than 4 hours a day, to be honest. Like 4 hours a day, then what are you going to do for the rest of the day? I mean, a part-time job's pretty good to keep you busy, to bring a little income, bring some stress off your trading, and yeah, that's how I look at it personally. Trading in prop firms is a lot more difficult than personal account. The market factors in all participants. However, while a prop firm, it seems as tough as though we also have to trade against the desk. ET1, you do not really trade against the desk. You're not trading against anyone. Prop firms, this is interesting. I think personal accounts are a lot more difficult. Personal accounts is your own real money. It's live. It's real. And when you lose $1,000, it's $1,000 out of your own pocket. Prop firms, it's the prop firm's money. I mean, especially in a simulated environment where it's not even real money. It's a simulated environment, and so you don't have as much added pressure. So I would definitely say that prop firms are, I don't want to say the word easier, but prop firms are more ideal to learn and to become profitable, comparing that to personal accounts, live accounts as well. Okay, let's get to a few more of these questions. And yeah, I'm finally over this sickness. And I need to make sure I stay over that and keep my voice okay by not letting my mouth go dry. ET, probably, yeah, you probably mean something else. Probably rephrase it a little bit. Do you think prop firms will last forever? 30 plus years? JP, I don't think prop firms will last forever. I think there's going to be a lot of prop firms that come and go. That's why I'm here at Topstep. I've chose to be a coach at Topstep because I do believe that Topstep does have an edge on all of the other prop firms when it comes to bringing traders live and having those live traders and helping the traders and have that stability. I mean, Topstep's been around the longest, right? Since 2010, 2011. And there's been a lot of these, pop-up shops that just come out of nowhere, create some website, and then, it's like they're here one day, gone the next, last a few months, and then they're just gone. And I don't know exactly why for a lot of that. But Topstep, if I was an investor, and if I'm going to invest in a prop firm based off my research, based off my knowledge, I've kind of done that, right? I've done that. I've invested my time. I've invested my effort into Topstep. I really do believe Topstep's going to be here in the next 30 years. And you've seen it. I've had some fun banter on Twitter where traders are, some people just like, yeah, Topstep's not going to be around in a year. And I'm 100% willing to bet any amounts of money on what I believe in. Yes, done a 50K in 2. Not sure what you mean that. Not sure if I'm saying this correctly. Are we seeing evidence of algorithms moving price right now because the actual volume is so low? Do big money entities use algorithms to move price? I think both of those statements could be correct beautifully. Where, yes, big money, quote, entities, bigger companies do use algorithms to, buy and sell. And every single time the market's open, there's probably algorithms active. Do you think the goal should be to get onto your own capital and eventually grow out of prop firms? JP, yeah, I do. I agree. That is what I truly believe in. I believe prop firms are really good at helping traders learn how to trade and giving traders a platform to, you know, I need to be careful about exactly what I say online. I always have to second guess my thoughts because the internet is forever. But yeah, prop firms are here to help new traders and help traders even that are successful, you know, start with a little bit of capital and eventually get into a live account and, I mean, manage money, right? The ultimate goal is to become a live trader. The ultimate goal is to become a live trader. Do it on yourself. You know, learn how to trade your own money, and maybe you do both. Maybe you do both. Maybe you can have a prop account, trade live at a prop firm, and do your own personal. Like, that is the goal. I know MP says the same thing. I personally love it. I know MP loves it, to see traders to take payouts, start their own account, and start doing well. In rephrasing, the market is very predatory as it hunts all market participants equally. However, in a prop firm, the proprietary algos can direct their hunting to one individual while propping others. ET1, that's an interesting thing to. That's I understand where you're coming from. However, in the futures market, it's a centralized exchange, and it's so big and so liquid, and since it's centralized, prop firms do not have, or my understanding, okay, I have to say that it's my understanding, I've never seen prop firms have their own algorithms to directly hunt their traders. I mean, in no way. Take this trade for example. Everyone sees this trade on the screen. I'm long the Nasdaq from 974. In no way can a prop firm manipulate price and sell price all the way down to 924 just to have me take a loss. Now, that being said, I'm sure there's prop firms. I've seen a lot of prop firms in the Forex world who do put on an artificial spread. They can manipulate the price and their data feed that they give out to their traders. But I don't know so much about that when it comes to the prop firm world. Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody in the chat that maybe knows a little bit more than I do when it comes to that. It's possible if they're their own broker. Can somebody really come in and fill me at 924 in the market? No, not in a live account. Not unless the market does sell off. I've traded enough of my personal accounts when it comes to this market in a live environment. I don't know what, maybe a simulated environment, there's a lot more possibilities. Hey, Coach Dakota, will you leave the NQ trade overnight? Yeah, this is one I might just end up leaving overnight. This is not too bad of an overnight trade, to be honest. How do you determine the ideal stop loss? That's always the hard question. There's no right answer to that. I like areas of support and resistance for stop losses. And if I can have a stop loss below that, that's where I want it. If this market does start to rally and come back to where it looks like, so here's a little bit of idea that I'm thinking through right now. So we did open up. We opened up right there. So we opened up around 990. We closed before that 1 hour break around 984. And if we come back up into this zone, then I'll probably just move my stop loss down here to, or like up here to like 946, and then I'd go to bed. And then I'd go to bed with my take profit up here at 245, 250. To be honest, if we do get up here and we start to break, I might let this one run. I might let this run throughout the New York session, or maybe I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm on Topstep TV during fast markets looking for this market and still in the same position. My experience is leaning towards internalizing the orders or direct routing. I mean, I can only address so much. I only know so much. I'm a trader. I'm a trader first. I don't know the internals, and I can't speak on any of the internals. I really am a trader and a coach that is just like anybody else here. I don't know the internals. Would you be comfortable giving a recommendation on a live account size? Like how much we would start a live account with? Ooh, smaller the better. Smaller the better. I'm never going to recommend traders a particular dollar amount to trade a live account because then I'll be tiptoeing the lines of financial advice, right? But I would say smaller the better. If you could trade a small account consistently, then you should be able to gain that confidence to continue to add money to it or trade a bigger size. So I'll never recommend a size outside of just smaller the better. If you don't mind me asking, Dakota, how much did you lose and how long did it take you to become profitable? I've lost over $100,000 at one point. It wasn't fun. Emotions. Out of anything else, emotions has been the hardest. What was the reason for the long entry previous support area? Yeah, so let me go over this trade. Let's go over this trade. I'll share why. I got triggered in this one way too early. I was going through and analyzing the market. I got triggered in way too early. Yeah, way early. I'm debating closing this one, but so let me go through this. Let me go through why I'm in long. Why, obviously. Let's take in consideration, we had that big sell-off on Wednesday from Powell and the interest rate talk and all that fun stuff, inflation, and we rallied right back at it. So today, during the New York session, this became a major support. It was major support in December 11th, December 12th, and it became support again, and we rallied off that. And so off that rally, we got up to 22,076, and we sold down to basically where we started the breakout. So this is a decent level of support and resistance. And I mean, down here is another level of support and resistance as well. But I'm looking for this market to make higher lows. So higher lows, higher highs. Where are the higher lows? Where are the higher highs? Well, it's always easier to see and tell that after with the power of hindsight. But if this is a low, right, higher low, and what I'm going to be looking for is some type of higher low. Now, the market could still sell off. I could take a loss and, cry about it. But honestly, I'm just looking for this market to make some type of higher low and possibly rotate back up towards these highs. Will it do it? I'm not sure. This is a very bullish market. We've been in a very bullish market. We're at the end of the year. We have tomorrow's Friday. This is Friday's price action tonight. And yeah, I'm looking at this market to continue this bullish momentum, waiting for a pullback during this big rally that everyone's seen. Obviously, it was like waiting for a pullback. It looks like we got it here during the New York session. We rallied up. We had another pullback. And so that's exactly what this is. This is a decent area of support. And you can see this hesitation that we had on December 24th during this rally. And of course, we could go back in time and say there's plenty of support areas in this. And it's a decent support zone. And that's kind of all I really want as a trader, is to put my risk at decent areas of support and resistance. Now, I did get triggered in early. I got triggered in on this wick. I got ticked in just barely by a tick. And we pulled back, waiting. The better trade is probably for waiting for a break of one of these pivots. So waiting for a break of that one, maybe waiting for a break of this, waiting for a break of that one. I did get triggered in. I put this in before I started the stream. Kind of forgot about it, to be honest. And then when I was watching price and someone's like, oh, Price was down here when I was starting the stream. And, sure enough, we got triggered in, and price has not really moved very much. I think I was down, $2,000 at one point, and we're just kind of hovering just below my entry. And so my stop loss is here because there are a few areas of support and resistance, and I like these areas of support and resistance. And so I like to have my stops at an area of support and resistance. Sure, we might go down and tag it, and that's okay. If we do start to break out, and if this market does start to return back to where we closed and opened the start of the trading for Friday, or for Friday's price action here in these 980s, 990s, then before I go to bed, I'll move my stop loss up to these 947s. Oop, not that one, that one. So until then, we'll see how it goes. Market's going really slow tonight, and so that's why I've kind of taken the time answering questions as I'm getting fun messages behind the scenes. Of these trolls. Okay, let's get to some more questions. Are you thinking on adding or DCA? I'm not going to be adding to this position. I'm going to be on fast markets tomorrow morning, and I want to make sure I have room to trade. And I don't think I'm going to add. This isn't one where I'm building a position. I'm already in. If I was going to add, I'd probably do like one contract, then 2, then 3, 4. Then I'd build into 5 contracts. I think this one's fine with a full 5 at the very beginning. Do you usually trade at the end of the year? I mean, I'll trade tonight. I'll trade tomorrow morning. The 30th is what? I'll probably trade Monday. Probably not New Year's Eve, but if the markets are open, I'll watch them. New guy, your stop is my take profit. Ooh, that's could work out. That could work out if we do sell off. That's a good target. This will be a good target down here for anybody who's short. Yeah, that's definitely a decent target. There's 5 contracts of liquidity right there, if that's your take profit. Guaranteed liquidity, 923.5. 923.5. Guaranteed liquidity if you want it. Can you go over the Nikkei? I did earlier. New guy, you're new at Forex. Not sure what that means. Yeah, I don't mind if that's the point, right? We're all here together. Now we're starting to get more. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I do that. The top step risk disclosure in the YouTube chat is I honestly don't mind if traders see the opposite of what I see. If you guys feel short, there's plenty of reasons to be short this market. There's also plenty of reasons to be long. I'll always tell traders process over profits. Process over profits. Fast markets Monday, last one for the year. Let's get that 50. Coach Jay, do you think we could do that? Do you think we could jump into 50 contracts before the end of year to celebrate it? We probably could. Maybe we could convince them. 50 contracts. Here's the thing. I've had plenty of conversations about the house account. I don't think the house account's ever hit the daily loss limit, has it? Has the house account ever hit the daily loss limit? I think it came close only one time, but I don't remember it hitting a daily loss limit for a while now. Not once. How about that? The house account gets a lot of crap, but the house account has never hit the daily loss limit. Think of that. Think of that. All the drama over the house account. It's never hit the daily loss limit. They haven't been trading the size that I personally think the size could be bigger once the consistency shows. But 50K is the daily loss limit. I could be the first if I believe. Go in. The house account, I think MP said the house is down like 350, which is what? 10 daily loss limits. No, it's not 10 daily loss limits. The house account, that's, man, you guys are going to make me do math tonight. Let's see this. Yeah, it's 7 days. 6 days, 6 to 7 days, daily loss limits. He just made a 50 pip. I wish I could do that to the Nikkei in my live. That's a mental thing. That's 100% the mental thing. How many times I guarantee you everybody here in the chat says the same thing. It's easy to make money in a sim account. It really is. It really is. But then when it matters, when you're actually trying to make money and real money, then emotions change. Emotions change. JP, if you do keep statistics, I want to know. Sivian, you've never witnessed 50 contracts before. 50 contracts. If the house account doesn't do it next year, I think I'm going to try and build this one so you guys could see it. Yeah, because of the fear of loss. I'm being honest. If I told everybody my goal next year is to be trading I think I went through it. My goals for next year. I'll probably build this account so that I could trade 50 contracts in front of everybody. Thoughts on Bitcoin? We didn't watch. We haven't looked at Bitcoin tonight, huh? Oh, Bitcoin. What is up with Bitcoin? How many Bitcoins does MicroStrategies own now? Up here. I don't know how I feel about Bitcoin. Go 50 micros. Is this a high or low on Bitcoin? This looks like it. That looks like a high or low if I've ever seen one. Are we going to see a continuation up to 100,000 tonight, tomorrow? That looks like a higher. It might be putting in a higher low. That's what it kind of is starting to look like here in Bitcoin. We'll see. I don't trade everyone knows I don't trade Bitcoin. Let's go to the 5 minute. I'm watching this Nikkei trade or this Nasdaq trade. I'm so used to trading the Nikkei. I just say Nikkei. Nasdaq. I'm long Bitcoin to 98, but you never know. 5 minute chart. Yeah, I'm on the 5 minute chart here on the Nasdaq. Dakota only trades. I don't trade crypto. I don't have any crypto. I tried one last month and it worked out well. Gold selling ripping lower. Is likely the same type of volume tomorrow as there was today. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's the last. Let's talk about tomorrow. We have 30 more minutes left, and these markets are extremely slow. Let's talk about the plan for tonight and tomorrow. I am really expecting more volatility, maybe more volume tomorrow. It's the last Friday of the year. It's the last trading Friday of the year. And we could expect some crazy price action. We've seen that price action today. You could see let me just map it out, where we did have that nice sell-off in the morning, completely reversed, completely rallied, all the way up, almost 200 points. I'm expecting something similar in terms of the volatility, where it might not be as predictable. It's most likely not going to be as clean. There's going to be a lot of major companies, moving money for the end of the year. There you could see, is it going to be similar to rollover? Coach Jay, if you're in the chat, I don't know if you've traded end of year, but there's a possibility that could be very similar price action to a rollover type trade. Maybe it won't be till Monday or Tuesday, but yeah, I'm not expecting anything too clean in terms of a normal trading day. Keep losses small. Size small. Losses small. I've been long the ES for 2 hours. Santa rally tomorrow. We've gotten the Santa rally. If anyone's talking about Santa rally, is this the Santa rally? Like, this is a decent rally, right? From that low over 1,100 points. That was the gift from Jerome Powell, this sell-off with the interest rate conversation and the market. And I want to see this thing break to the long side. Nikkei at the 11th highs. Nikkei just keeps going straight up, huh? I tell you what, it's tempting to short up here. How do you short this market, though? Look at that move. It just went straight up. Why can't it why doesn't the market ever do this when I'm in it? Huh? It's kind of funny how it's just timing. Timing is everything in this market. Right before Christmas, right before the holiday, prevented me from holding in this trade, and it just decided to move today for just whatever reason. It's tempting to short. I'm going to be honest. It's really tempting to short. Like, there's a lot of resistance up in this zone, but we could easily break out. How far are we up tonight? What are we up? This is a huge rally, honestly. We're up what? 5%. We could keep going. Like, this is tonight. We are up. We're up 1.5. We could easily get a 2% type day in the Nikkei. You're in a long position also? Are you in the Nasdaq as well? Japan CPI. We had CPI tonight in Japan. That would do it. I'm going to keep an eye on this trade because I want to make a decision before the end of class. So we still have some time left. It's being slow. I mean, it's the day after the holiday, everybody. So I am a little bit sluggish. Finally getting over that sickness. I've shorted the first leg. You're shorting what? Nikkei or the Nasdaq? The flu? Yeah, I'm over strep throat. That's why I'm drinking a lot of liquids today. Long the M&K. Can you give me advice after blowing an XFA account? It depends how long you were in that XFA. It's hard to give advice after someone's blown an account without kind of knowing a little bit. I could give a very general advice that you could probably find anywhere online. Honestly, the best advice is to size down, do it in a practice account for a while, and gain your confidence back. I think trading is just as much about the emotional and being confident in your strategy as it is about the individual strategy itself. Size down, don't overtrade. Let's see if we could break through this. I want to see it. I'm going to zoom into a 1-minute chart. I want to see this market rally. 90% psychologically for you. Yeah, some traders it's more. Some traders it's more. What sources, what resources? This is what tonight's resorted to, just me answering questions because nothing's going on. What resources would you recommend for a new trader? I've done some small TA courses in YouTube. Is there anything else you'd recommend doing? Jack Hughes. That's about it. You don't need a lot of courses. I would even argue less is more. The less you know, sometimes the better when it comes to knowing indicators, knowing strategies, knowing courses. Stick with the basics. Stick with the basics. Stay simple. The more simple you can make your trading and your strategy, the easier it is. Always. Always. A few trades a day. Do you believe that all strategies work? It's just about risk management. Pete, I would argue that more strategies work if you're a better risk manager. If you could manage risk, odds are you could make a strategy work. Now, of course, there's some crazy strategies that probably would never work. But if you can manage risk, typically the strategy is a lot better. I want to use you as liquidity. If you guys all buy this market, I will use you as liquidity. Gold sell-off heavy. Aggressive stop loss at 970. Aggressive stop loss at 970 on the Nasdaq. I'm liking this price action. I might end up moving my stop loss a little bit sooner rather than later. Deal with your emotions. I had a blow off yesterday because I had a perfect long on Tuesday and closed break even because I needed to go work. It would have been 50. Oh, those are the worst. I mean, you guys see me do it here all the time. It feels like there's at least 1 or 2 trades every week that I miss out or it just goes without me. And it sucks, right? Sometimes you feel like throwing your mouse or just screaming or something, but that is part of trading. There'll always be a next. It sucks though. You can't let that affect your trading. You've been doing this for 4 years now, still struggling. What's your advice? Always, my advice to everybody here, and my advice will always be, and you could basically put this on repeat, is keep it simple and manage risk. That's it. Like that is all there is to it. It sounds so simple and easy, but it's always easier said than done. You keep it simple and you manage risk. Probably size down is usually the better answer than most. If you're having issues, size down, restart, trade smaller, gain that confidence back, and keep going. Agent, massive stop loss. Is that only because you leave it overnight? Yes, my overnight trades are on higher time frames, and my overnight trades have wider stop losses. Wider stop losses for overnight trades. Typically, I think where I'm going to end this tonight, and I think where I'm going to end this trade is with my stop loss a little bit closer. This will be about, I say about because I'm not completely confident with my stop loss yet. It's still down here. So odds are I'm going to just leave my trade just running overnight with my stop loss around 946. Maybe we could get this 3-bar reversal on the 1-hour chart. I'm looking for this market to continue up. And I don't know if we're going to get all the way up here to these 22.055s. Obviously, we're going to find out tomorrow. Maybe I wake up and I'm still long the Nasdaq. I'm going to be on TopstepTV tomorrow morning. And so this might be a trade that I join tomorrow morning still long if this market continues to either go sideways or slowly drift up and to the right. I could see myself still in this trade by tomorrow morning. There's over 92 contracts sitting at my stop loss. Is there really? Maybe there's 92 contracts sitting at my stop loss. They're all everyone's looking for it. Everyone's trying to get to my stop loss. Looking at the 4 hour NQ, had a 3-bar reversal to the downside. They're watching your trades live. Good luck to them. Dakota, how do you counter FOMO? You just get used to it, Don. It's hard to counter FOMO. It's emotions. You just get used to it. Trade smaller. Trade smaller. Trade smaller is kind of the counter to FOMO. Trading smaller, right? Because you guys don't tell me. Everyone would be very emotional with this size of a contract on, right? But then if this is 5 micros, man, you really don't care. You don't really care if you're right or wrong. You just follow a process. You follow a process. You miss out all the time. I miss out all the time. You guys seen me miss out on this Nikkei trade. It's still going. Look at that. Man, it's just going. It never does it when I'm in the long. 1.5. That's FOMO. That is FOMO for sure. Get the risk management down and the stress go bye-bye. Yeah, risk management. You're not going to be stressed out over making a tenth of what you're used to, and then focus on the process. Yeah, like this one, I don't want to say this is small, but sure, this is relatively small. Like I don't, to me, it doesn't matter. If I wake up and I'm down 5,000, that's okay. Not a big deal. It's another day. If I wake up and I'm up 8,000, then great. It's really not a big deal. It's just another day. It's the process. It's the process that matters. I probably should just put this onto the better way to do it is to put this on points. This is the best way to look at it. Not the dollar amounts, but points, right? Am I going to make 48, or I'm risking 48 points to make 81. So a little bit less than a 2-to-1 risk reward. And this is the way you should view it. You should view it in terms of points, in terms of ticks, in terms of whatever you're used to. And yeah, I'm risking 48 points to make 81 points. And then you follow your process. It doesn't really matter whether this is 1 contract, 2 contracts, 5 contracts. Maybe it's a micro, maybe it's a mini. It doesn't really matter. It's the same process that you'll be trading, and it should be the same process that you trade to make a couple $100 to a couple $1,000. I like to stay out to see a good sweep, then re-enter. That's how banks follow. Well, part of what I was watching was I was looking at this as to being a kind of a stop loss hunt, right? We just swept down, rallied up, and then I was looking for this market to recover, and that's one of decent reason why I put that order in. I just barely got ticked out. Right, something similar to maybe this, right, that we had. I mean, you could make an argument for any direction. The bad thing is we're still holding down there, and it's slow markets. Slow markets. It's the Asian session. No idea what that is. Liquidity sweep. Would you recommend focusing on just one stock, etc., and learning how it moves and reacts, or trading multiple? 3 pony. Focus on one market. Yep, focus on one market. That's the best way. It is. Each market will have its own unique characteristics. I focus on the Nasdaq. If you're a brand new trader, if you are brand new, I would say the ES would be something better. Hey, focus on the ES during the New York session. If you trade the New York session, maybe focus on one market, get used to it, get used to how it trades. Each market will react differently. It runs stops differently. It breaks out differently, and it has its unique characteristics. And then once you get consistent, and once you're able to trade that market consistently, then you should maybe start to explore. But you really only need one market. Each of these markets are liquid enough, or you should be able to find consistency in these markets. How does one control over trading? Just looking for a few good setups a day. You need to know more about yourself when it comes to over trading. Step in the market where chasers can get rewarded as thinkers are hit with a reverse market psychology. Do you ever look at TPO profiles? I do not look at TPO profiles. I don't know what lock 30x is. Use trade counter. Is that trade counter live yet? Oh, it is on the sim, right? It is on. That is, there's the answer. There's the answer right there. If you go to these settings, and there's a trades per day and a trades per week. That is how you could manage your over trading. If you're over trading, you feel like you overtrade, a couple trades a day, or 5 trades per week, something like this. This is such a cool tool. This is really cool. This is the way that this is probably if you have a hard time over trading, use this, trade limits. There you go. There's an answer. There's the answer right there on TopstepX. I mean, I haven't used it yet, but yeah, that is the answer for over trading. Man, what another great tool. I love this. Lockout settings, and then these maximum trades per day. Or week, day or week. Great tools. That is a nice feature. Those are some nice features. Well, I think that's about it, everybody. We are coming to the end of class. We still have about 10, 11 minutes left. Let's go ahead and get to a few more questions, and then just call it a day. A few more questions and call it a day. I don't like the all-day lockout on the max trades per day. I'm not sure. I haven't used it enough. Remember, you're only locked out for a day. There's always tomorrow if you end up hitting one of those. Lockout options is nice. Yes, it really is. Locking yourself out if you feel emotional or if you need to just walk away is always the best option. Any trade report analysis? Not sure what you mean on that one. Outside of just the typical trade report on TopstepX. My favorite tool of all are the mountain specific time zone, the absolute worst. I think, I don't know. It depends on whether you're a day, if you're up during the day or up during the night. That's the nice thing about futures is it's open 23 hours, Sunday night through Friday afternoon. Evaluating people's accounts. Yeah, I maybe that's probably something I should have done tonight as it was very slow. I still need to evaluate some accounts, do some evaluations. Maybe next week. It's the holiday, and if the markets are slow, I'll jump back into the evaluations. Now remember, it's holidays. Things are going to start getting back to normal. Next week is New Year's. It's still holiday trading hours, or holiday trading, not trading hours. It's just in terms of the way the market moves. And we can see some sporadic movements coming into the end of the year. And so don't be surprised if you see a crazy market move and there's like, oh, was this news? And it's like, it's just the end of the year. Anything can happen. Tomorrow is the last Friday of the day. We have New Year's next week. After New Year's, things should start to kick off better. Hopefully things start to get smooth and back to normal, back to the normal schedule, back to, having Coach Jay on with me on Wednesdays, slow markets each day of the week and getting back into rhythm. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it really is. If we want to talk about emotions, getting over a sickness, getting back into a schedule, whether it's your sleep schedule, whether it's, your eating habits, or getting back into rhythm can be very difficult. And it could even affect your trading. I've seen it affect my trading over and over again whenever I get out of a sleep schedule or if I start to get sick or something. So that being said, maybe there is something more to it when it comes to your routine before or after your trading or just in general. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and end class. I will see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning. If not, it will be Sunday night. So take care, everybody, and see you then.